What's up, everyone, and welcome to your Wednesday's edition of Reptile News. Now, we're going to start off today in Riverside County, where an observant homeowner called and reported a cobra on somebody's lawn. And this is actually, I got a really good chuckle out of this story because apparently when animal control authorities arrived, they realized it was a plastic snake on this lawn. And this really brought up several, it did bring up some good points. Basically what we have here is we have a person who saw a snake. And they identified it as something that might be of a significant concern and called authorities over it, and it turned out just being a fake plastic snake sitting on somebody's lawn, probably one of the children's toys, who knows. Luckily the authorities here also got a chuckle out of this, but it just kind of goes to show some of what we're dealing with in day-to-day life as reptile owners, and the people that aren't necessarily affiliated in any way of our hobby, and how a misunderstanding can turn into something so much bigger. And I mean, once again, it's just why education, not only within our hobby, but outside our hobby, is a very, very important thing to deal with on a daily basis. And now we're going to move on to one out of Florida, which was actually very, very interesting. You see a boat captain apparently caught an 8-foot Burmese python, but not where you would expect. He was caught out in the ocean, in the saltwater, where they really don't hang out very much. Now, they are saying that the reason they believe the snake was out there is recent rains, they think, may have, diluted the salt water enough to make the snake feel comfortable about going out there. And I guess that could be an explanation, but either way, it's another python that's not in our country, again, in the wild. And I'm going to get to another topic about this briefly at the end of this show, which bothered me a little bit, and trust me, it'll be interesting for you to hang around and hear what I have to say about it. I think it'll create some interesting conversation in the comments below. And actually, that being said, you know what, I got another couple stories to talk about that I wanted to talk about that are very interesting. I highly suggest you click that link in the description and check those out, but I'm actually just going to jump right into that other story topic that I wanted to talk about the pythons in Florida. And this is surrounded around a comment that I got the other day about the topic. Now, you guys know that my memory is absolutely horrible when it comes to this stuff, so I'm going to read the comment right off my phone here, and I'll be looking away from the camera obviously for a minute. And that comment is, I disagree that people should kill those snakes. Snakes did not get to North America by themselves. Humans, in capitals, brought them there. Snakes don't deserve to be killed just because people are stupid. People should do their best to remove snakes from the environment, capital, the peaceful way, uncapital, not eliminating them like some monsters who deserve to be killed. For humans, mistakes. Humans are the most invasive species that invaded all continents, including Antarctica. Who's going to take care of them? Now, this struck me in all the right places, this comment, and that's why I wanted to take a little bit of time today and talk about this on the show. I'm not going to mention the person by name, but I am going to say, they're more than welcome to identify themselves in the comments down below. But I did lose a subscriber right after this comment, so I'm just guessing they're not going to see this because I'm kind of putting one and one together. But anyway, I absolutely agree with you. I am a snake lover. That's why I'm here doing this. I'm a lizard lover. I love animals. I like them all. Let's be honest. If we're being honest here, I'm not fond of spiders. You guys might remember that video of me holding the tarantula the first time, and I'm getting off topic here, but I'm not fond of spiders. We'll just leave it at that. But I do agree with you. Humans cause this problem, and humans should do whatever they can, humanely possible, to resolve this problem. The problem is how do you resolve a problem as large as the pythons in Florida? On this very show, we have talked about several examples, several ideas over the years that might work, might not, but of course we don't have a far enough reach for anybody important enough to hear this stuff. And that's where I kind of leave it up to you guys to pass this stuff around and maybe get a following going. I preach it myself, and for you guys that have been around and been viewers and followers of this show for a long time, I preach this stuff. Now, one idea that we had, I believe myself and John F. Taylor back in the day talked in depth about this on a live show that we did, is Burmese pythons in their native range are on the ICUN red list as a species of concern. And we said back then, well, why don't we just, number one, I believe back then you had to pay for permits to catch them in Florida. And we were saying, forget paying, just open season, year-round, catch them, throw them on some DC-10s, and ship them back to their native range because they want them over there. They're a species of concern over there, and we don't want them here. Now, to me, that's an amazing idea, but I also understand how financial things work, and I understand flying a plane load of snakes from here to there is an expensive thing to do, and I obviously understand that people are not going to want to pay for this. This would be taxpayer dollars that are paying for this eradication, because people in general, the private citizens in general, are just too lazy to take that kind of way out. I mean, when you call open season on them to kill them in the wild, now you have hunters that are interested in it, and the hunters, they don't care about the snakes. They care about hunting. That's what they do. That's what they enjoy. That's their hobby, be it trophy hunting or whatever, which I'll go ahead and go on record right now and say I don't agree with trophy hunting at all. I don't like it at all. My opinion is two things I'll say here. Number one, if you can't kill something with one shot, you got no business shooting anything. And number two, you got no business shooting anything unless you plan on eating it. Now, I have a very hard time not supporting hunting for food. It's still such a massive part of cultures worldwide. People have done it forever, and we still do it today. I mean, every time you eat a steak, something was killed for food. And that's just, it's kind of how the world works, and I don't think that's ever going to stop. But I absolutely am not a supporter of trophy hunting at all. But I understand why trophy hunters are interested in doing this kind of stuff. I mean, if you're a trophy hunter, you want to be that hunter that caught that 30-foot python down in Florida. Your name's going to be all over the news. You're going to be the talk of the town for generations. Grandpa's going to be telling the grandkids about you. And I totally get why they would be interested, even though I don't necessarily agree with their chosen sport. The problem is people in general are not going to go through the trouble. This would be our community going through this trouble. And obviously some people within the governmental community, they're interested in eradicating these animals, might be interested in some of these things that cost money, but how many of the taxpayer dollars are going to want to pay for it? So I totally get where you're coming from, and I agree with you completely. But it seems to me, as far as the reasonable fixes for this problems go, that they've been exhausted. I don't know what else to say, and I'm more than willing to sit down and listen, and I'm more than willing to have someone on this show. I'll do a live show. Any of you out there that want to do a live show on this channel talking about this topic and what can be done to fix it, I'll do it. You name the day, you name the time, and we will do it on this show. I mean, that's how just passionate and interested I am in this topic and finding a reasonable fix. It's just so far out of my league and my reach that it just can't be done. I mean, trust me, we've tried over the years. And I mean, even something like that being said, okay, I'll throw this out there. Here's the idea, okay? It doesn't fix what's happened in the past, but it might help alleviate some concern for the future. So let's implement a mandatory minimum 5-year federal prison sentence for anybody breaking any sort of wildlife laws, anybody releasing non-native species into the wild. You get caught, you're 5 years federal prison. That's it. That, my friends, will end the problem very, very quickly. But that, obviously, for obvious reasons, several of you out there right now are cringing. I promise you're cringing. Several of you are in the middle of typing a hateful comment to me about saying that, but you know that would solve the problem. And that is the problem that we have. Something that will solve the problem, which will absolutely not be accepted by any member of any community, short of maybe 2 of you watching this now. So that's kind of where we stand with that. I mean, what Florida's doing now with the kill on site sort of thing, it's just it's a situation where I would think okay, we're being honest here, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. There's simply not enough trophy hunters or people in Florida, around the country, around the world that are interested in traveling to Florida and killing these snakes to decimate the population enough to get rid of them in our country. So this situation will not work. However, I do believe it would put a dent in the population should enough people become interested in that. And any other resolve from that, I just don't know. Like I said, we don't have the kind of reach on this channel to make any kind of difference to do that, but I am not opposed to trying. I'm never opposed to trying, and like I said, if any of you want to discuss this, either a pre-recorded, pre-arranged thing or live or whatever, you just let me know the time and day and we'll do it right here on this channel. And that, my friends, is going to be all your news for this Wednesday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, those links are right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching and still subscribed after that, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world and in my crazy brain. We'll see you on Friday.